Finger licking good special.
Good morning and welcome to a week of workouts with me, myself, and I.
I'm my other 17 personality.
I've been trying really hard to be a 7 a.m. badsy. And it's been successful. I've actually changed my routine up recently, alongside my workouts. So not only are the workouts going well, but now the actual rest of my life is. This is a first. I wanted to like flex this, that it's like 6 a.m, but it's now 10 to 7. But I was up at 6 a.m, I promise. And not only was I up at 6 a.m, I was up at 6 a.m, like actually rested and recharged, which again, has not happened in like 2 to 3 years. I've been someone that's needed so much sleep. So yeah, I mean.
Am I better than everyone?
But I'm actually up because the boyfriend has gone off to do an F45 class and woke me up. But I was already up, like it was 10 to 6 and I was like tapping him, thinking like, is it like 8 a.m? Have you slept through the alarm and like, you know, you've missed your class? And then I looked at the clock and it was actually 10 to 6 and I was like, I was gonna make a joke about being like a morning rooster and I then just did an owl sound. I'm really excited for this week because training at the minute is just going so well, and obviously, you know, it was going so well that I was like, oh, I'm gonna film it and put it online. And then yeah, you actually can't see any visible issue, I don't think, but I've woken up, right, and this finger, it feels awful. It feels like if I do that, it feels bruised. How do you bruise a finger? Like, I haven't done anything. I went to the post office museum like yesterday. Like, I did nothing insane this weekend. And my finger just hurts so much. I'm like, did I sleep on it weird? Maybe. So I'm a bit like touch and go with that. But in my life for 2026, like my energy this year is that done is better than perfect, because I have a little case that we call perfectionism. It ruins my life. So done is better than perfect this week. I'm still going to train, I'm still going to work out, but I'm just going to be very mindful of my finger. But that's all irrelevant because basically this morning, she's saying all this with yesterday's mascara on her face. I don't know what it is, but I've just found getting mascara off has been so challenging. My morning routine recently has been literally just wake up and do my steps for the day. And that has been working so well for me because I don't necessarily have like workout energy in the morning. I mean, I say that I probably could start to shift my structure now, because I'm just like, I finally reset my circadian rhythm and I'm finally like getting back to where I was when I was like 18, 19, 20. I used to have such a good sleep schedule. I like really, really respected her. And then I just, yeah. Nighttime, small rectangular screen time. We're off to go and do steps. So I just get up, I drink water, I sunscreen, and then I just get myself up to the gym. I'm gonna put on the headphones and then I'll show you what I do at the gym, because I'm gonna flex on you again. I'm gonna flex on you for being up early. Now I'm gonna flex on you because I'm doing something. I'm doing something in the morning when all y'all is asleep. But you know, you're watching this video, so maybe you'll join me. Make it a competition, guys. So most people, when they wake up in the morning, they check their wardrobe for like what clothes they're gonna wear for the day. I check my my chair. Which I think this is like worn once and these have maybe been worn a couple times, but this is a bit much for me for a cardio outfit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like this is a gym outfit. It's just my 7 a.m. alarm going off once I've been awake for an hour. Did I mention that? It's such a nice alarm as well. Like I was saying in my last video about how I'm getting up early. Listen to that. Like it's like waking up to just like little droplets of water. yeah, really like that. I used to always think that the key was having a harsh alarm, and actually having a gentle alarm has been so successful for me. But
Sometimes they say huge.
that's how you know you've clicked on the right video, girly. No, girls, I changed my mind. I've got the most perfect thing. Soft baggy t-shirt. We just smashed our steps, guys, and it's not even 9 a.m. Yeah, but I am starving, so because I usually have a matcha before that, but I just didn't this morning. I just got up and out, you know, just got up and out. And I'm trying these like overnight oats from Simmer, which that looks insane. That looks so good. It does say to heat them up for 30 seconds, but I kind of don't want to. It's the best thing finding like healthy meals, especially, you know, bonus points if they're high protein and balanced. It's the best thing finding things that you can like use as a staple, because it doesn't matter, girly, if you do every single workout that I show you in this video, if you are not eating what you need to be eating. Girlies, it is time. It is leg day o'clock, which is 2:42 to be exact. My finger is still not feeling amazing, so it may be slightly adjusted, but I am feeling amazing because I have a new set on. I was kindly gifted this from Tala, although the elephant in the room, definitely have the wrong size. The leggings are a medium and the top is a small bar, which I thought would be fine. It usually is, but I haven't got a top like this from Tala. So if you're a little bit sub heavy like me, then we need to size up, because the girlies are suffocating, I'm not gonna lie. But I thought I would quickly choose this opportunity to basically explain to you how muscle growth actually works before we get into the workout. Like I said earlier with the food and the nutrition, it doesn't matter if you copy these workouts if you're not doing the nutrition to, you know, make them like purposeful and actually work. And it's the same with the workouts. Like, if you are not doing certain things during your training, you will not see the results that you want to see. How are we going to do this? Oh my gosh, okay. In really quick terms, when you are in the gym, the goal that we are going for is to break down muscle. So it's a good breakdown, unlike the ones that I have on, you know, my luteal phase. But essentially, imagine your muscle like a bunch of fibers, and when you break it down, fibers do like a little bit of damage, you know, they tear, they get pulled. Then you eat in your diet, you eat enough energy, so calories, and you eat enough protein to replenish that muscle fiber. And not only is it going to break down, but it's going to repair, and it's going to repair bigger. So whether you're trying to grow your biceps, your glutes, or just generally get stronger, you will be doing this process in your body. So you will be breaking down the muscle in the workout and then repairing it with your diet. Again, breaking down the muscle in the workouts with stronger weights this time, because your muscle is stronger, and repairing it with your diet. And you can keep going and going and going to the point that your genetic potential will allow. And yeah, that's how you build muscle in short terms. But the actual how is in our workouts, pushing ourselves. So our last few sets, you might have heard people talk about failure. This is so helpful, like wow. Last few sets, we talk about failure. That is when you are pushing your muscle to an extreme. So for example, salicylic acid, you're now a dumbbell. I'm doing a dumbbell in the gym, and say this is like 6 kg. You know, I can do 6 reps comfortably. I get to 8, I get to 10. Okay, now I'm starting to feel it. You might feel your reps sort of slow down. You might even start to feel them jolt a little bit. Failure is getting to the point where you cannot actually do another rep, and you have to fail. So close to failure or to failure is the way that you're going to build muscle. But it probably sounds like there's a lot going on, but nothing is beyond your comprehension. Okay, you are a smart girl, and if it doesn't make sense now, give it time, look at it in another way. Maybe my explanation isn't the best, and you will get it, you will crack it. But if you are going to failure or close to failure every single set on every single exercise, that is when you're gonna get a little bit overly fatigued. So how I like to train is I like to do 2 to 3 sets of an exercise, and the last couple reps I will make challenging, and then the last set is when I will really push to failure. There is 101 days of summer vacation, 101 ways to progressive overload and to tick the box of hypertrophy, which just means like building muscle. Don't panic if this one doesn't sound right for you, or if you go in the gym today and you just think like, nah, not for me, especially if you are a beginner. This is low-key like my week of workouts, so I'm gonna like beginner intermediate-ify it. Not that I'd be doing anything too advanced, I'm not gonna lie. I just master the basics and, you know, rinse and repeat. The message is just don't panic. Like if you're new, if this is all new, it probably sounds like gibberish, then just try the workout, see how it feels, and get used to just feeling your body and like understanding how things feel, because when you start the gym, it's a life-changing journey. But I just remember things feeling so bizarre, like a squat felt so bizarre, but you just give these things time and you will, you know, do the reps. See what I did there? Do the reps and things will become easier, they'll make more sense, and they'll actually be enjoyable and, you know, feel good. And that's the goal at the end of the day, is to just enjoy the journey. So without further ado, let's go and train legs.
Okay, girlies, we're going to attempt a voiceover for today's leg session. So this is a glutes and quads focused session. You do know now how muscle is actually built, so you can hopefully recognize why it's important that step 1 is a warm-up. I usually get on any cardio machine and do around 5 to 7 minutes of warm-up there, just enough to get my heart rate up, be warm to the touch, because this is going to ensure that nutrients are getting to the muscle effectively during the actual workout so that we can perform better. And it's also going to lubricate joints to avoid injuries there, which we obviously want. Then I move on to some dynamic movements like these, and yeah, just get stuck into the workout. We do not need to be spending an hour on our workout. Literally a good effective 10 minutes is more than enough. Just getting warm and mobilizing the joints that we're about to use is key. Okay, exercise number 1 is going to be the trusty hip thrust. This is a compound movement, which means it basically uses more than one joint. Putting them at the start of the workout is best because we just have more energy to give. If you're new to these though, try bodyweight or dumbbell hip thrust first, just to build your confidence. If you're lucky to have access to a hip thrust machine, this will be, you know, done for you. But if you're using a barbell or a Smith machine like me, here's how I optimize the move. You want to find a back support that is no taller than knee height. If you're short like me and don't have a lower option, place a plate or a step under your feet. When sat upright against the back support with your legs out in front, wherever your knee pit sits is where your heel should sit during the movement. We want the back support around where our bra strap sits at the base of our shoulder blade, and when we come up into the top position, we want a right angle at our knee, allowing for a full lookout, which basically looks from the side like your shoulder, hip and knees being in line. Now we're going to move on to a single leg movement, the deficit split squat. The name sounds scarier than they actually are, I promise. These are great for balance, core stability and functional strength, but for me it's mostly for building the quads. Place a small step under the front foot. This is just increasing the range of motion, by the way, and it's totally optional, especially if you're new. Step into the lunge position by placing your back foot behind you, not just behind your other foot though, because this will ruin your balance. I specifically choose a narrower stance to target the quads more, and then to actually start the movement, we're going to just lunge down, keeping our torso upright, going as low as our mobility allows, and then pushing up through that front foot. And yeah, well done, you've just done a split squat. I wish I could say we're done with the single leg exercises, but as you can see, we are not. This is a B stance Romanian deadlift. This is a glute focused exercise, and what you may notice is I'm twisting into my front leg as I come down. This rotation is going to stretch the glutes even more, thus making them work. You want to think about pushing your hips back as far as they will go, which will cause your body to naturally follow. And as you come down, keep a soft bend in your front leg, keep the dumbbell close to your body, and slowly rotate into that same front leg. Feel the stretch. For most people, this will be stopping where the dumbbell is just below your knee and then come back up. Second to last exercise on the menu. Yeah, I only be doing 4 to 5 exercises these days, girls, because less is so much more. Like, once you learn that, life changes. Anyway, this is a leg extension machine, and what we're going to do first and foremost is adjust the machine to our body. So we can adjust the back support so that we're sat up straight but our knee pit sits on the edge of the seat. We can adjust the lower pad so it sits on our lower shins just above the feet, and then when we're ready to do the exercise, we grip the handles. Think about lifting the weight with your shins, come up, squeezing the quads, quads, and release. Last but not least, we gotta train calves, girls. They're so boring to train, but it does take zero time, and strong calves help with so much, including, did you know, being a heart helper as you age, because they help pump blood actually back to the heart from the lower body. I love using the mini leg press because the setup is so easy. Set the machine so that you can extend your leg fully whilst having a soft knee bend. Place the balls of your feet on the leg press pad, push off, squeeze the calves, and then release slowly, and that is our leg day done. Or maybe there's time for one more thing. follow along workout channel now. She is. I'm so happy that I managed to film that little ab workout in one piece, because it started to get a little bit busy in the gym and I didn't want to like have anyone come in and then just like have to quickly stop the film. But I filmed everything and my finger was actually okay, so I managed to hold some dumbbells. But if you are new and some of those machines look scary, do not panic. Like most of the people in the gym, they're just focused on themselves, but also they'll happily help, like if you were ever stuck on anything, especially like a trainer or something. And if you are more advanced and you think like, oh, these exercises are quite like easy, this is being advanced in the gym. There are no easy exercises. There are like more beginner friendly exercises, but actually any exercise, no matter whether you think it's beginner or advanced, it's absolutely about how you do it. Like those lunges might look really simple and you might be like, oh, she's not lifting like a heavy dumbbell, or it's not like a barbell or whatever. But girlie, try it. Like slow, controlled. And with those lunges, I'm really upright, focusing on like my hips, feeling it, my glutes, my quads, everything. It is, intense. That was probably more of like a 5 reps in reserve kind of training for me today, where I've got like 5 reps left in the tank, just because I'm not going ham with my training right now in terms of like, as I'm changing my sleep schedule, I just don't want to be absolutely exhausted. So but I hope you enjoyed the leg session. And tomorrow, what will tomorrow be? Tomorrow will be some kind of upper. I just like switch push and pull for whatever I'm really feeling. I'm naughty like that, and I move my schedule. But I also came back from the gym and took my creatine, which I take every single day, because that is also such like, if there is a secret for the gym and for your performance and results, it is creatine. Like, it's not a quick fix by any means, but it's basically, gonna have, if you watched my previous video, better energy, so better workout, better recovery, so better results. Anyway, dinner time for me, and then I will catch up with you tomorrow for upper body. Morning, girlies, from a very grey, stormy, rainy London. I did in fact not make the 7 a.m. alarm. No, I didn't make the 6 a.m. alarm, I didn't make the 7 a.m. alarm. And it's now 10 a.m. Yeah, I didn't wake up at 10 a.m. though. I have been awake, but just kind of faffing. But we're going to go and do our upper body session. I have decided it's going to be a push day, because I'm not really strict with my like upper body programming. I either just do push or pull, like I switch them around. But I've really liked my push days recently, so I'm going to show you one of those, and you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it, you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to go and try it. But first, we're going to eat something, because it is slightly later, and we need some sustenance, because I'm going to have my push session, and then I'm going to do my steps after the push session. So we're going to have some trusty sourdough, and then I'm going to mash a banana into it, and then top it with honey. So we've got literally triple carb threat. Right, what the flip is going on in the dishwasher? Can you hear that? That don't sound healthy. Alright, quickly, we've got to get to the gym so we can avoid whatever's going to happen there. Just a little drizzle of honey. She's perfect. Now to just avoid getting any of this down me. And I also don't have a knife to cut it in half. Did we hear that crunch? Our second workout is push, which is the chest, shoulders and triceps, and I've really changed up my training here, but no matter what, I will forever train upper body, because I want to be strong and maximize my bone density, which is low-key declining after 25, girls. So did you know you have 30 minutes? No, I'm joking. There's mixed science here, but bone density peaks in our late 20s and begins to fall around 35. So we got to get that density up now, okay? And the best way to do that is strength training. Warming up first, of course, which I've already explained the importance of in our leg day, so we'll jump right into the workout. Okay, don't Don't panic, press-ups can be daunting and I used to truly suck at them, but mastering your own body weight feels so powerful and we all start somewhere. So whether you need to do this on your knees, on an incline, or even on the wall, just start. As women, we have differently shaped elbows compared to men, so our form needs to actually be slightly adjusted to what you're maybe used to doing. So try this. Stand in front of a mirror and put your hands out in front of you. Bring your hands back until your thumbnail touches your armpit. This is your natural path for a press-up, and now you can try this form in a natural press-up. Another upper body movement I have been loving is this single arm shoulder press. So come into a kneeling position, putting something under your knee if needed, brace your core like you're about to sneeze, or my personal favorite is imagining that I'm going to be punched by a toddler. Tuck your pelvis. You should feel your hip flexor turn on when you do this. Pick up the weight, keeping your core tight and your elbow slightly in front instead of out to the side. Press the dumbbell up until the bicep is at ear level and bring the dumbbell down to wherever your range of motion allows comfortably and push back up. Next up, a little bit of shoulder isolation. This is a dumbbell lateral raise, and as you can see, I bring my arms up and then in front, so that's just to show that you aren't supposed to be going directly out to the side. You're going to want to pick some lighter dumbbells, like a 2 to 4 kg for these. You want to bring your shoulder blades together, back and down to help protect the shoulder joint and isolate the sides of the shoulders. Have your arms out in front like I demonstrated, with a slight bend in the elbows, and actually think about lifting with your elbows and avoid coming up too far past the shoulder height so we don't involve the traps. These will get very intense very quickly. Okay, now that we're back, we are going to be moving on to a slightly, I'm not going to say easier, like these workouts are still intense, but it's not your like picking up your dumbbells kind of strength stuff. It's more the lighter dumbbells, higher reps, time under tension, intensity. But I've been loving these moves in my workouts because I mean, I'm gonna level with you girls. Me and my shoulder health, we just did not prioritize, well, ourselves, our shoulder health during the first few years of our journey, mostly because we were doing exercises wrong, we were going too heavy for what we were physically like capable of. And your shoulder joint is such a specific one where if you are not doing the things you need to be doing to reinforce, strengthen, and, you know, look after her, she will break down. Like, I think it's probably one of the biggest sports injuries that can happen at the gym. These are just a couple of my favorite moves, but they are going to depend on you and your specific shoulder mobility. There is no shame if you can't do some of these. There is no shame if you have to do them without weight or even like a reduced range of motion. So I've said that a lot in this video, but range of motion is just like your point A to your point B. So if you can't get all the way to B, that's fine. You can go to A.5, you know? Maybe I should have used more letters and that would have made that analogy a little bit easier to understand, but you get the point. And speaking of the point in these is that we are strengthening like the upper mid back and the rear shoulders, which are often undertrained in women, which can lead to injuries, pain, and just general bad shoulder health. So training these muscles is going to help with that, as well as things like posture. And to be honest, in a world where we're constantly looking down at screens, at phones, strengthening the back of your neck simply by laying on the floor at the end of the day feels unreal. Last but not least, we're going to move into an isolating tricep exercise. These are tricep kickbacks, and I supersetted those with overhead tricep extensions. The triceps are the muscles that run down the back of our arms, and there are 3 parts of them, and this superset, it targets both of them, and this superset is going to target them in both the contracted and the stretched phase. The key to any tricep exercise is locking your elbow position and moving only at the elbow. Avoid any swinging movements because this will take focus off the triceps, because their main role is extending the arm.
Happy hump day. It's also not 8 a.m. I had the girlies around last night and yeah, I just didn't make the alarm. Today would usually be a rest day for me, or I would just go on a walk like in the outside world, leave the apartment. But I've actually been very lazy this week, which is not really well aligned with filming this, because it's going to permanently be on the internet. So yeah, the plan is literally to just go and do some cardio or some steps. But I haven't actually done any cardio this week also, so yeah, that was why the cardio kind of got mentioned. And cardio is so boring, but I feel like I finally cracked it and like cracked how to make it more fun. And sadly, the tip for you is just do it and have really good music in your ears, or watch a vlog. When I think of cardio, I think of the step machines, like the stairs, but I have seen people also do things where they like split up their time on different cardio machines. So like 20 minutes on the bike, 20 minutes on the stairs, 20 minutes on rowing or something, just to split it up. Or I know with me, with my steps, what I find helps is sometimes having chunks of like what you're doing in that time. So chunks of like different inclines, different speeds, just to make it like more exciting. Ooh, but at the end of the day, it's just whatever you need to do, girl, to get it done, is do it. Because take it from me, I am a personal trainer, and this girl like barely did any cardio up until last year. I always loved HIIT. So HIIT is high intensity interval training. So HIIT would be like doing 10 burpees as hard as you can and then taking a rest and then doing it again, and having like a short kind of circuit where you're really pushing yourself. And like if you've ever done a HIIT class or anything, you'd be feeling sick afterwards. You'd be feeling like, I can taste blood. My body is probably about to go into shutdown mode. But I'm a bit of a freak, and I really like that style of training. She says, but as she, got older, the years creeped up, and I would, prioritize like, I need to do this work. Like I can't get to the gym, I can't do my cardio. Or if I get to the gym, I just need to do my weights and then be on my phone, be accessible, and then get home and get to bed and do it all again the next day. It caught up with me. It really did, because I found myself being genuinely out of breath, like doing the smallest tasks. And that's when you have that realization of, I'm not invincible. And actually the inside matters just as much. Because, we'll be working on the outside. We'll be thinking like, I want to be shredded for summer. I want to be this. Girl, you want to be healthy. Yeah, you want to be healthy. You want to be able to breathe. Like muscle is obviously important. Don't get me wrong. But when you get to, your 80s, your 90s, because you're going to get there. You stick around with me, you're going to get there. You want to have them lungs. Yeah. So that is why it is so important that we're going to go and do our cardio. And right now I don't really know what I'm going to do, because I don't really program it. I just say that I need to get at least 60 minutes of cardio across the week. And don't laugh at me if that's low. Like if you play a sport or something, that is like the best way to be getting in your cardio, because it's just more fun. But I'm about as coordinated as, I don't know, a rooster playing chess, if that makes any sense. The way that I was ready to quit on this video, quit on you guys, quit on myself. I'm stressed today. I'm really stressed. When you just feel like you have 101 things on your brain, 1,001 things on your to-do list, and like deadlines and all these things, and like emails and life, and I know that on a day like this is exactly the kind of day that I need to go and move. But it's also the first thing, or the first days, where I'm like, I haven't got time. I just need to get stuck in. And I've done that this morning. And now it is, well, it's actually not. It's before 12. It's 11:43. I thought it was way later than that, to be fair. No, it's 11:43. But yeah, I know I need to go move, and I need to finish this video, because I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you so that you can show up in the gym and you can get your goals. Doesn't mean it's easy for me. Does not mean it's easy for me. So yeah, and it's leg day. It's leg day, so I'm just like, that was my last straw.
Okay, paddy over. Let's get into our second leg day of the week, which is hamstring focused. Honestly, one of my personal faves. I started off with hip thrusts, which I won't talk through again as we already did that for Monday's session. But what I will tell you though is that I use different rep ranges on different training days, but I purposefully haven't included rep ranges in this video just because it does really depend on you and your level as to how many reps will be the most effective and appropriate for you and your training goals. You did see an RDL Monday, so you'll be familiar with the basics, like breaking at the hips and being pulled backwards motion. However, to target my hamstrings more in this RDL, I do one thing differently. I bend my knees much less, because the hamstrings are the muscles that run down the back of the thigh, and they're joined at both the hips and the knee. So when we refuse to actually bend more, our hamstrings are forced to be pulled more. This is known as the eccentric phase, where a muscle lengthens during a workout, and it's actually the most effective phase of a lift for muscle building because it's such a strenuous part of the lift. We're all about that leg width from the side, aren't we? So we're going to to be isolating our hamstrings on a machine because we can use any remaining energy and basically will to live that our hamstring fibers have to ensure that we've done enough to build stronger muscles. Same as Monday, adjust the machine to your body. The only difference here is you're going to want the foot pad under your leg now, and then the higher pad locking your legs in place, and to bring the machine to the top position using the lever. Once in position, hold on to the sides and curl your legs underneath you, pushing against that leg pad at your feet, and slowly release. You can also try reps where your toes are towards your shins or pointed and see which one you prefer, as this will change how engaged your hamstrings feel during the movement. Final exercise of this session is a, wait for it, side lying clamshell with abduction. That is a whole mouthful, but basically, you know this machine? It's essentially that, but when you couldn't fit that in your gym bag. This is another one of those exercises that is a case of like, girl, just trust me, it's not as easy as it looks. Start on your side with your elbow beneath you for support, bend your knees, stack your heels together, and whilst keeping your bottom leg's shin on the floor, lift up, squeezing your glutes, and then performing a clam movement by lifting outwards with the other leg. As you travel down, push backwards, and then begin the movement again.
And just like that, a leg session and a cardio session is done. Although, did anybody spy me low-key halving that cardio session? Because why did I think the Stairmaster after a leg day was a good idea, please? Yeah. I worked really hard to build up my time on the Stairmaster to 20 minutes. And then today I was like, I can only do 10. And you know what I think the biggest thing is? Doing it after legs, because usually I'd do like an upper body based cardio or like a lower, what do you call it? No energy in the brain. I would do like an upper body or like less strenuous workout for cardio workout on a lower body day, and then vice versa on an upper body day. And my goodness, yeah, that took it out of me. But I think the second thing, the biggest thing, was that I usually cover the screen. In my other gym, like when I'm in France, I have a towel and I put the towel over the gym, like over the number. And I did think about taking my t-shirt off and just putting it over the screen, but I was just comfortable. So yeah, but my word, but that was a great leg session. I got a bit anxious when I first walked into the gym. Like, yes, I'm 8 years in and I still get some gym anxiety, like in certain moments, especially when I'm just not feeling it, you know. I walked in and the gym was so busy, there was a class going on, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave and come back later. But I was like, no, I know you won't, first and foremost, and you know, you could come back later and it could be busy as well. And you can still just, you know, get a good workout in and show you guys a good workout. And then by the time I finished my warm-up, it literally calmed right down, so it was great. And I felt really happy as a gym girly today because somebody asked me for advice on a machine. And that was a like I've made it moment, because I was like, she thinks that I know what I'm doing and I don't. No, I do. But she asked me like how to work the machine, and I help. That was helpful. So yeah, I do feel so much better. I do feel like ready for a motherfucking snack though. Ready for a motherfucking meal. I do feel ready for that. But yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I think the best thing that comes after doing something that you didn't want to do but know is good for you is like just the sense of achievement and pride. Like I feel really proud of myself for showing up because nobody's pushing me except myself. That's a good feeling. That's how we build self-confidence, self-trust, and discipline. It is literally built in these, you know, boring, I can't be bothered moments when you just push through. And I did a whole nother video on how to push through motivation and how to push through when you have no motivation and build discipline. So go and watch that because I put in loads of tips and tricks. They are literally the things that help me every single day. So yeah, but proud of myself. And now I'm gonna shower. I have so much to do. I have so much to do, but there's always so much to do. Am I right? Like there is always so much to do in life. So you gotta ride the wave and just fit in the movement, fit in the nutritious meals, however you need to. No matter whether it's got to be a little bit of, you know, healthful convenience, or whether you've got to cut the workout short, just get this stuff done. Because trust me, I've been there where I don't prioritize it, even with my job being my job, you know, the fitness and the nutrition. Even with it being my job, it's so easy for it to just get sidetracked and you to think like, no, there's other things going on. Nothing is more important than your health. Nothing. So yeah, anyway, one more workout for the week. Got a little bit of cardio to catch up on, but yeah, we got our pull day tomorrow, which pull is the best day. I love a bit of pull. I love working out the biceps
and working out my back, and I get so many requests for back workouts, so we're gonna cover everything.
She's gonna do it. She's gonna film the whole week of workouts in the actual week. Yeah, because usually I've done one of these. Usually it ends up being like 3 weeks later and I'm like, oh, hey, how y'all doing? We're gonna do it. Can't say it's been easy because it has not. This has probably been like my least motivating week in a while. End of Jan, the flop is flopping. Ew, I'm standing in something sticky. And it's actually not even a morning workout today, it's an evening workout because, well, I just wasn't feeling it this morning, but we're going to go and do it this evening. And I'm hoping that the gym is going to be very quiet because it's Friday night and everyone else is out. Because everyone else has, you know, a social life and I just eat and go to the gym. But we're going to have a blast. I'm doing things this weekend, I swear. I'm trying. And it is the best day. It's back day. I'm hoping it's going to be beautiful city vibes, like the lights in the background. Because this week's been so great. So you haven't really been able to, like, see the view in that gym, and that's the best thing in that gym because yeah. So enjoy the city vibes, enjoy the back day. This is my most requested workout on Instagram, so yeah, roll the tape.
Yeah, anyway, so the gym was actually the busiest I had ever seen it. So I guess it's not just me that needs to get out more, but it thankfully calmed down, or maybe I just stink so people left. But back day on a Friday night, like, back is my favourite thing to train because, well, yeah, that, but also because training upper body and getting strong just does feel so empowering as a woman. And trust me, if you live with good form, eat your protein and keep pushing, you can build muscle, and you'll be surprised at how quickly you can build muscle, especially as a beginner. So muscle building exercise number 1 is going to be a barbell row. You can use dumbbells for this, that's absolutely fine. What you want to do is lean over facing the floor, and remember that core engagement always, you know, toddler punch. Take a neutral stance and grab the bar slightly wider than your knees. You can choose an overhand or underhanded grip. I just prefer overhand as it targets the upper back more and is slightly easier on the elbows. Then with your core engaged and your form set up, pull the bar towards your hips, squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top, and then let them retract as you come down. Try your best to not let go of the weights and go into the next rep. Next up, good mornings, which are amazing for building our erector spinae muscle that gives that deep back line, but there is a lot of room for error with this exercise as a beginner. So if you are new, first try with holding a dumbbell close to your chest. I use the Smith machine with the safeties on so I can control my range of motion and fail safely if I needed to. The movement pattern is the exact same as an RDL. You break at the hips, push back, but the target muscle completely changes because of where and how we are loading the weight. The key with these is just slow, controlled, and ensuring we have a strong core to support our back throughout the entire movement. There should never ever be pain when you are training, but some people can say, oh, I feel it in my back, and it's kind of like, girl, but it's because we're training our back, so don't stress about that. But if you are feeling any pain, then definitely stop. You've probably seen the lat pull down machine before. I do these specifically with a medium width grip to target my upper lats. A really important part of this exercise to avoid other muscles taking over is to first retract your shoulder blades. Think like doing the pencil test but on your back. Then with a slight lean, pull your arms down and back as if you're trying to tuck your elbows into your back pockets. Reach close to your chest and then come back up slowly. You can let your shoulders stretch at the top, but just make sure to put them back in position on the next rep. And last but not least, on a pull day, we gotta train biceps. I've been seeing so much progress in my strength from alternating curls because I can give all of my energy to that one side and then repeat. To do these, stand tall, keeping your chest up and your elbows pinned to your sides. Keep a neutral wrist, not flexing them upwards to avoid strain or overuse of our forearms. And if you notice, I have neutral palms at the bottom of the movement. Then as I curl up, I rotate my hand to face my body. This is because of how the muscles and tendons run through our arms, so it's gonna help avoid any wrist or tendon issues in the future. When you lift the weight up, instead of thinking about reaching your shoulders, try to think about closing your elbow. Squeeze your bicep at the top of the movement and then slowly release down and let your palms go back to neutral. Started that workout looking semi-cute and I now have, it's giving, yeah. Every time this week I've said, oh, the gym's probably gonna be really chill. It'll be like, it's been the busiest it's ever been, and it just keeps getting busier. So, are you on? You're not even on. What was the point? It was all a lie. Adam's just taking out the bins like a great boyfriend. Every time this week I've said the gym's gonna be quiet, it's been so busy. So yeah, so the footage, I do apologize. I feel like it's been a little bit like all over the place and maybe a little bit hard to follow, but I will try to give you girls as much as I can with like how I'm moving, how I've been moving. Because the one thing I will say about the gym is do it, just do it. Like, us girlies do need to be lifting weights. Pilates is amazing, classes are amazing, but you've got to be lifting the weights, not just for the muscle, but for our bone density. And the second thing, it is simple, but it doesn't mean it's easy, and that kind of applies to the whole journey of the gym. I guess, like, maybe I should rephrase that. Don't overcomplicate it. Like, there's a million and one, I'm still standing in this sticky thing. There is a million and one things online, like videos online telling you like this is the best exercise, or this is the worst exercise, or this or this or this. And honestly, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and arguably say that unless obviously it's gonna cause an injury, there are no bad exercises. So if you see someone in the gym doing something that you don't really get or you don't know about, or maybe you feel like people are looking at you thinking, what is she doing? They honestly don't know what you're training for. I don't know what they're training for, and they could know something that I don't know, and you know, vice versa. I saw this really great trend where this girl was like, there was no like voice, there was no talking, yeah, but she's like in the gym and she's judging people and she's thinking like, what are you doing? And then she's like flip English language, she cuts to like them doing their sport or them doing something in their life where they need that movement.
You want to add something to the trash sled?
Anyway, yeah, you don't know what anyone's doing in the gym, and the same goes for you. Like, if you are doing an exercise wrong, don't over stress about people thinking like, oh, are you doing it wrong, you know, and worry about that. Worry about obviously your own form and doing an exercise correctly, but don't over stress about it. Go for a lighter weight, figure it out, watch tutorials, watch videos, and build your confidence slowly, because you can only build confidence through reps. Do you see what I did there? You got to do the reps of being new, being a beginner, and trying something out. And if anything in this workout, right, what are you? Ew, it's like a sticker from like clothes or something. If any of the workouts in this week looked a little bit like intense, or maybe something that you are a bit daunted by, valid girl, honestly valid. I said I'd make it a beginner friendly workout video and I kind of didn't end up there, so hopefully this isn't called beginner friendly, because that would be total clickbait on my end, but arguably it can be. You can just adapt things. So instead of, you know, maybe using a barbell or a Smith machine, you can use dumbbells and go for a lighter weight, and even body weight, figuring these workouts out, these movement patterns, like your RDLs, like your hip thrusts. You don't need to do them with weight at first. You figure it out and you go from there. So anyway, I really hope you got something from this video. If you're watching up until this point, let's comment what emojis are? Let's go with a bat, because I feel like we're ending this video in the nighttime. We're night owls right now, but I could have said an owl, but we're gonna go with bat. Comment a bat. It would mean a lot to me to know who's watching these all the way through, who's watching the chit chats and not just cut into the workouts, because I know that's what's gonna happen. Anyway, I'd be really stinky right now, because not only have I gymmed, I also sat in bed and binge watched Bridgerton, the new series, in one go. So I need to shower, but I will love you, leave you, and see you in the next one, which I will see you. I will see you in the next one. I will. Bye. Have a great week.